Welcome to your daily threat intelligence brief. Today is Monday, November 20th, 2023, and this is presented by the Dark Web Detective. In today's episode, we delve into Ransomware Gang's bold SEC complaint, LockBit's strategic negotiation overhaul, the exploitation of Zimbra 0 days targeting governments, and we'll also explore Toyota's cybersecurity challenge, the Warp AMD bug, and the alarming rise of bots dominating internet traffic. So let's get into it. First, in our threat landscape overview, we examine today's foremost cyber threats. Russia-linked cyber espionage group Garmageddon has been deploying a worm called Litter Drifter via USB sticks against Ukraine. Litter Drifter, a VBS script, features USB propagation in communication with a command and control server. The worm targets systems and removable media, establishing a persistent command and control channel across targets. Garmageddon, who's been active since 2014, focuses on Ukrainian entities, including security, military, and government organizations. Litter Drifter's orchestration component, heavily obfuscated, acts as a self-check mechanism, verifying whether a machine is already infected. The worm's unique approach to C2 and propagation demonstrates Garmageddon's evolving tactics. Infections have been reported in countries beyond Ukraine, including the US. Garmageddon's sustained activities in Ukraine showcase the effectiveness of their methods despite Litter Drifter's relative simplicity. In our next story, Google's threat analytics group uncovered a campaign exploiting a Zimbra's collaboration suite 0 day to steal government email data. The vulnerability, CV 2023-37580, was a reflected cross-site scripting or XSS bug, allowing attackers to execute malicious code via specially crafted URLs and emails. Users had to click on the links while logged into Zimbra for the exploit to work. The first campaign exploiting this vulnerability targeted a government organization in Greece. Subsequent attacks affected government entities in Moldova, Tunisia, and Vietnam, with these attacks being linked to the Russian APT Winter Wyvern. Google observed these campaigns after Zimbra published a hotfix but before an official patch was released. The attacks highlight the importance of timely application of security patches in critical software. They also demonstrate how quickly attackers can exploit vulnerabilities, especially in high-value targets like government organizations. And in our last story of the threat landscape overview, a report by Arcros Labs reveals that 73% of internet traffic in Q3 2023 was compromised of bad bots and fraud-related farm traffic. Bad bots are automated processes used for malicious purposes, including fake account creation, account takeovers, and data scraping. The report identified the top 5 industries targeted by these attacks, with technology and e-commerce among the most affected. The rise in bad bots is attributed to advancements in artificial intelligence and the professionalization of cybercrime with the cybercrime as a service model. Intelligent bots using machine learning and AI pose significant threats by evading detection and targeting emerging technologies. The report also notes a dramatic increase in scraping bots potentially used for data theft and phishing attacks. The proliferation of bad bots indicates their profitability for cybercriminals, emphasizing the need for effective detection and mitigation strategies. The growth of crime as a service and AI advancements are likely to further exacerbate the challenges posed by these malicious bots. In today's vulnerability dispatch, a newly discovered exploit named CacheWarp targets AMD CPUs to undermine memory protections, enabling privilege escalation or remote code execution in cloud environments. The vulnerability affects AMD's secure encrypted virtualization feature in first to third generation EPYC processors. CacheWarp exploits the INVD instruction, allowing attackers to wipe the CPU cache and access stale data. This vulnerability can lead to taking over authenticated user sessions or altering the control flow of programs. The exploit demonstrates how a malicious hypervisor user can gain root access in virtual machines. AMD released a microcode patch for the third generation chips, but no mitigation is available for the earlier generations. The discovery and patching of CacheWarp highlight ongoing security challenges in complex hardware environments. In our next story of the Vulnerability Dispatch, researchers identified critical vulnerabilities in AI model infrastructures impacting platforms like Ray, MLflow, and Model IDB. These vulnerabilities could allow attackers unauthenticated access to AI models and the wider network. The flaw presented risks like server compromise, theft of credentials, and intellectual property. One critical issue allowed reading of any file on the Ray platform, while another enabled code execution in the H20 platform. The vulnerabilities underscore the importance of securing AI infrastructure against emerging threats. As AI models become integral to industries like banking and data analysis, protecting them from cyber threats is vital. In our last story of the Vulnerability Dispatch, a critical remote code execution vulnerability in the Crush FTP Enterprise Suite has been exposed through a publicly released proof of concept exploit. CVE 2023-43-17-7, discovered in August 2023, allows unauthenticated attackers to access files, execute code, and obtain plain text passwords. Attackers can exploit the AS2 header parsing to control user session properties, leading to system control and root level remote code execution. The exploit uses Java put-all function to overwrite session data, enabling administrator impersonation. The vulnerability's public disclosure increases the risk of opportunistic attacks. Despite patches, further security measures are recommended for Crush FTP's endpoints. With approximately 10,000 public-facing Crush FTP instances, the potential attack surface is significant. And now for a ransomware report. This is where we talk everything ransomware. To get us started, the LPHV or Black Hat Ransomware Group filed a complaint with the SEC against Link, alleging the company failed to disclose a significant data breach within 4 days as required by the new SEC regulations. Link provides digital lending solutions to financial institutions. Link responded stating they acted immediately upon discovering this incident on November 10th, engaged third-party experts, and found no evidence of unauthorized access, with minimal business interruption. ALPHV's actions using regulatory compliance as a pretext indicates an evolving sophistication among cybercriminal groups. The group's approach of filing an SEC complaint is unprecedented in the realm of cybercrime. This incident reflects a growing awareness and exploitation of regulatory environments by ransomware threat actors. In our next ransomware report, the LockBit ransomware group, facing internal frustrations over low ransom payments, has overhauled its negotiation methods. Concerns within the group centered on low payment rates and the small sum collected by affiliates. LockBit's leaders attributed these issues to inexperienced affiliates failing to secure expected minimum payments and offering unsanctioned discounts. Previously, affiliates had no set regulation guidelines, leading to inconsistent outcomes and a rise in victims refusing to pay. The new rules, effective October, include the guidelines to setting ransom amounts based on victims' annual revenue and a cap on discounts at 50%. LockBit surveyed its affiliates for input on these changes, emphasizing the need for more structured and consistent negotiation tactics. And in our last ransomware report, Toyota Financial Services Europe and Africa confirmed a cyber attack, possibly exploiting the Citrix Bleed vulnerability. The ransomware group Medusa and Medusa Locker claimed the responsibility, demanding an $8 million ransom. The attack targeted systems in Germany, with the hackers obtaining various corporate documents and personal information. The Citrix Bleed vulnerability, tracked as CVE 2023-4966, has been exploited in various ransomware attacks, including government organizations, law firms, and banks. Cybersecurity researcher Kevin Beaumont noted that Toyota had an exposed and likely vulnerable Citrix system. Other recent attacks of Citrix Bleed exploitation include Boeing and Australian shipping company DP World. The vulnerability underscores the importance of promptly addressing known security flaws in the widely used enterprise software. And that brings us to the end of another daily cyber threat intelligence brief. Thank you for listening to the end, and if you like this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stay vigilant and stay informed. Join us next time as we continue to navigate the ever evolving cybersecurity landscape, keeping you one step ahead of the digital dangers. This was the Dark Web Detective signing off. Over and out.